Really quick, Shady people, I just wanted to let you know that the game I'm making has been funded, and I want to say thank you to so many of you guys who have come alongside to make Illustrious Awakened a reality. What's even better about it being funded, it is now confirmed that it will be available on the Nintendo Switch. So if you have any interest in checking out a new 2.5D monster-catching RPG that keeps the player at the front of it all, I would love if you could check out the link to my Kickstarter down below. It really would mean the world to me. There's a ton of awesome add-ons that'll end up saving you money on Illustrious TCG products, or if you want to go for the higher tiers, you can actually have an NPC in the game. Those are limited, so check it out as soon as you can. I'm really hoping we hit the stretch goals to add a randomizer mode in the game, permadeath, speedrun, and tons of other goodies. That's it. That's all I've got. Check out the Kickstarter. I'm so pumped to be making a game. Now, back to Pokemon. Pokemon VGC is hard. It's even harder in the draft format when the league you're in is stacked with incredible VGC players. But like the GOAT Lorcy said, Pokemon is for everyone. Anyone can learn to play competitive Pokemon. Anyone can get good at competitive Pokemon. And honestly, I think it was Lorcy's speech that kept me from quitting the Wolfey Draft League. At the very least, it assured me in my decision to stay here. See, after last week's WDL match, I hit up Joey and literally considered quitting. I asked him if it would be awful for us to get a replacement coach for me because clearly I was in way over my head and I felt like I wasn't making good content. Honestly, I felt like I wasn't enough. Commissioner Wolfey said there would be no hard feelings if I had to step away from my mental health, and I just couldn't do it. I mean, truthfully, I was feeling so low after last week. I mean, I've had two incredibly talented VGC players spending hours and hours building and prepping with me. We're doing scrims. We're investing so much time into these matches every week. And then every single week, I felt like it was just a waste. I really did feel like I was just letting them down. They spent all this time with me. I felt like I was letting you guys down. I know we got some diehard Yankees fans here, and I felt like I was letting myself down. I thought I was better at Pokemon than this. Truthfully, this had all the right ingredients to get me out of the league, to have me quit and make an excuse and say, yes, for my mental, I gotta get out of here. But at the end of the day, there's one thing you guys know about me. It's that I do love a challenge. And there was just no way in front of all of you guys I could quit a challenge like this. It just goes against everything I believe in. It goes against every radical red stream that I have. I love Pokemon challenges. And I really do believe in life in general. If you try, you can improve. If you keep going, you can get better. If you don't give up, you can grow. And after wrestling with all of that, I saw Lorcy's speech. In Lorcy's words, he came from nothing, but he had a purpose, he had a dream, he had a vision, he had a reason to keep playing, to keep pushing, to keep learning, to keep growing. He wants to be an example to, specifically in his own words, people that look like him, that they can play Pokemon too. And that was just, it was one of the best speeches, it was one of the best things I've heard in this community. So even though I know that Lorcy's clearly not doing it for me, the white 34-year-old guy, thank you, Lorcy. What you said meant a lot. It really was inspiring, dude. And it really was that speech after wrestling and deciding, no, I'm not gonna quit. It really did push me over the edge to make sure that I was gonna stay here. It made me realize that I did have the ingredients, but not the ingredients to quit, but I had the ingredients to keep going. Really, at the end of the talk with Joey and Wolf, it was my desire to not wanna quit in front of you guys. The purpose that I had was not failing in front of you. I wanna show you guys that even a little penguin can stand with the giants of Pokemon. And it might not be this week, and maybe it's not next week, but by the end of the season, I have a very small and maybe silly dream. I just wanna win one game. I'm not talking about winning a set. We haven't won a single game since week 1, and I just want to win one game. So with that dream in mind, let's go over our opponent for week 5 of the Wolfey Draft League. We're up against Uzi and the Thunderclap Titans. I've actually battled Uzi in the past. It was in a previous singles draft league, and he destroyed me in the semifinals. Because of that, I know what kind of monster he can be on the battlefield, and his draft, well, it's just as monstrous. Up first, he's got a Dragapult, known for its terrifying speed and beefy attack stat that pairs perfectly with one of its abilities, Clear Body, which stops any stat drops. Its signature move, Dragon Darts, hits 2 times and by default sends 1 dart to each opposing Pokemon. It also gets access to some support moves like Breaking Swipe, Will-O-Wisp, and Disable. It is an absolute menace. And as if Uzi didn't have enough speed, enter Whimsicott, a Pokemon that packs Prankster, giving +1 priority to all status moves like Tailwind, Encore, and more. Grass Fairy is a pretty bad typing into my Sneasler, but I still expect the supportive beast to be on the field this week. Uzi's next mon is Pillow-Swine, a pretty huge steal at 3 points, I gotta say. It's got great bulk when paired with Eviolite and gets access to priority moves, spread moves, and even some speed control thanks to Icy Wind. I really think this guy's coming this week. Raquanid is up next, and this is a special wall that tends to pack wide guard to stop spread moves from the opposing side. I'm not too worried about this Pokemon because it's pretty slow and frail on the physical side, but if it's got the right speed under Trick Room, it could definitely be a problem. Hisuian Typhlosion is a giant fear of mine this week. Honestly, Whimsicott going Tailwind and then Typhlosion clicking Eruption just does numbers to my team outside of Houndoom with Flash Fire, so I'm going to have to prepare an answer for this potential combo. Glade is Uzi's next mon, and it's not one I'm too terrified of. It's once again a Pokemon with pretty low physical defense, but it is also another Pokemon that can run wide guard, really putting a damper on any sort of Psy spam I may want to try. Now, truthfully, I didn't plan much for the rest of Uzi's Pokemon. Berserker, Toxtricity, Dunsparce, and Malamar all don't feel too threatening to me, especially because it feels like my Pokemon naturally handle them. But anything can happen in Pokemon. And now with Uzi's draft laid out, it's time to reveal a decision I made. Despite my newfound belief in pushing on, pressing forward, and trying to get better at battling, I didn't want to go ahead and waste Deanna and Pedon's time again. That actually worked out perfectly because they did seem pretty busy while I was getting ready for this match. But regardless, I decided for the rest of the season, I'm going to take prep work a little less seriously. Not just that I'm not going to prep with them, but I'm also going to show myself some grace and maybe not invest 6 to 10 hours in prep for these matches. So I gave myself a soft rule. I can have 1 hour to prep for the match and then 1 more hour to iron out any kinks on my team. I'm hopeful that will get rid of some of the overthinking I tend to do when I think I see these lines that are definitely going to happen in battle and then they don't and I crumble. So with that in mind, let me show you what I prepped for the New York Yankees this week. We're bringing out our trusty Indeedee again. Rocking a Citrus Berry, mainly so Dragon Darts doesn't take me out when I click follow me. Helping Hand is here to buff attacks from our partner, and Psychic in the terrain for our max damage output against everything except the Dark-type Malamar. Trick Room's here to switch up our strategy if our next Pokemon doesn't work out. And that next Pokemon is Sneasler. We're going pretty classic on this Sneasler. Psychic Seed will buff our special defense in the Psychic terrain, and it will allow us to be the fastest Pokemon on the battlefield, outside of Tailwind and Prankster, of course. Acrobatics does double damage with our item used up, and is great into Gallade and Araquanid. Dire Claw for stab chance at statuses, and Close Combat for maximum damage output. I decided on Terra Steel because even though Terra Flying is awesome for the stab on acrobatics, I really wanted to be able to resist Dragon Darts and Moonblast. This does leave us crazy vulnerable to Hisuian Typhlosion, but it is what it is. King Gambit is hitting the field as our next offensive piece. Defiant punishes any Icy Winds, and Assault Vest gives us the staying power against special threats on Uzi's side. Our moveset is pretty standard, but we packed Brick Break over Low Kick on the off chance screens come into play from his side. We'll also have to be careful about Psychic Terrain stopping our Sucker Punches, but that should be fine. Because I'm bringing Thwacky. I'm a huge believer in Thwacky, changing the terrain and providing our Gambit with some healing and potentially surprise Sucker Punches. We've got Fake Out Pressure, Priority Grassy Glide, U-Turn for pivots, and Protect. Protect is mostly there as a mistake, but like I said, I prepped solo this week and missed putting Knockoff on this Pokemon, which is probably what I would have went with if I could go back in time. Up next is Mudsdale. We're not running EQ because Thwacky's bringing that grassy terrain. It would reduce the damage of it, so we opted for high horsepower instead. But Stamina combined with grassy terrain and leftovers seems like it's going to make this unit gain defense buffs and potentially put out some insane damage with Body Press. We've got Rock Slide for flinches under terrain if we're desperate, and Protect to maximize that recovery I was talking about. Our final Pokemon is Houndoom, who is basically here for Hisuian Typhlosion. We directly counter it with our typing and ability, so I decided not to go Sucker Punch Doom. Instead, we've got Heat Wave for things like Whimsicott and Berserker, Snarl to debuff special attackers and break sashes, and the Cheeky Howl to buff up Sneasler or King Gambit so they can run away with the game. I always need an option for pure content, and I think Howl Houndoom might be it this week. And that is your New York Yankees. I need to go ahead and thank you guys again because you've all been, honestly, everyone's been so sweet in the comments, and it was another reason why there was no chance of me stepping away from the coaches of the New York Yankees this season. So seriously, thank you so much. I do have this dream that I want to accomplish, and like I said, we've got 3 weeks left. I just want to win 1 game. With all of that said, be sure to leave a like down below if you want to support your New York Yankees in their Week 5 match of the Wolfey Draft League. Now go ahead and enjoy the battles. All right, it is 6:12 in the morning, on 5 hours of sleep. Your Yankees coach was up late with the organization, and we're gonna see how this battle goes against Uzi. All right, he's in over his Terra's Dragapult is Fairy, Whimsicott is Steel, Pillow-Swine is Ground, Araquanid is Water, Gallade is Dark, and Malamar is Flying. Okay, Not sure why. I mean, I usually send that over at team preview, but it is what it is. Let's see what we can do for this battle. All right, here we go. We are in here, seeing the team Dragapult, Whimsicott. This is pretty much what I thought would come. If I'm honest with the goodest draft, I was actually very afraid of Hisuian Typhlosion. Extremely, extremely afraid. So no Hisuian Typhlosion is nice. The Malamar is a little scary because I don't have Stab Fairy. Not a huge fan of that, but it is what it is. We could just lead Seed and Sneasler. He probably has I mean, it's either Trick Room user or just Tailwind. We're gonna lead Sneasler and Sneakers. I think that's fine. Outside of that, if I end up going with Hornet as a threat, I don't know, man. This team actually, I kind of like Big Pona here. The Arachnid hits physically. Everything is pretty physical. I mean, I could be wrong, right? I mean, Malamar could be special, but it's very common to power contrary. Hillswine is physical. Arachnid usually is physical. Glade is physical. I think Big Pona does like it here. Once I might end up using my Terra on Big Pona, if I'm honest. So if I'm gonna bring Big Pona, I think I'm supposed to actually leave Hornet behind and go with Coach Junior here. I think that makes the most sense. We're gonna go Coach Junior here in the back. Yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly sure. It feels weird not bringing Gambit frame 1. It is a super strong Pokemon. I could maybe see the lead in the next battle being Gambit, but with Dragapult, Whimsicott potentially on the lead, we have Lady Kubu and Marmar. Okay, see, I have no idea what Malamar wants to do here. We're gonna make the Psychic Surge go off. Malamar is Superpower, Knockoff, Trick Room, Topsy-Turvy, Protect, Skill Swap. So we could see a Topsy-Turvy here. That would be pretty interesting to say the least. I do have Follow Me, and I can't Oko the Sneasler with anything, but I definitely can just like where is his? Whimsicott is Steel, and the Malamar is Flying. I could just Dire Claw the Malamar here and feel pretty comfy about it. I could also, I mean, it's weird because there's Whimsicott can't do much to me with the weird terrain up, right? I don't think it can. Acrobatics would hit about the same as Dire Claw. Let's just go for the Dire Claw into the Marmar. Let's see what happens. Well, Follow Me, just in case there's any sort of Psychic. Oh, is this gonna be Expanding Force? Does this thing get Expanding Force? We're gonna see Tickle. But Lune is protected by the Psychic Terrain. Prankster Tickle does not work with Psychic Terrain. We get a Sleep with Dire Claw. That's obviously massive. But it's a Lumberry. It's a Chesto Berry specifically. And then we're gonna see Superpower into Lune, gonna start gaining defenses here. So it's obviously not gonna be Topsy-Turvy. And unfortunately, I would say that our win con here is probably gonna have to be like massive damage deck. I wonder if, I don't think Helping Hand is blocked by, I don't think Helping Hand, it is a priority move. I don't think Helping Hand is blocked by Psychic Terrain. That would be a really awful time for me. Since we see Superpower here, I mean, I'm not gonna Terra. Kinda wanna go into the Lady Kubu slot here. Protect is possible. I'm not sure how afraid I am of Superpower. I mean, I guess I'm a little afraid. I'm gonna Dire Claw the Whimsicott slot here. Ooh, is this just gonna be, what's this? It's not Terra Flying Malamar right away, is it? Oh, it is, okay. Terra Flying Malamar. Oh, so that he can go for the Tickle. I like that. That is very cool. That is very, very cool. Maybe I should have just targeted down the Malamar again. Ooh, we're gonna see the Tailwind. Okay, so now Malamar is fast. Okay, he's not gonna target down the Malamar with the Tickle. I thought that's what he was gonna do. We're gonna Dire Claw here. This is probably Sashed. It is Sashed. Any poison? I already got one, so I can't really ask for more. That's crazy. I already got the Sleep once. We got nothing. We see Superpower into the Lune here. Defenses are going through the roof. This is absolutely going to be a problem, for sure, for my team. I do have Citrus, so I can chew a little bit. I do like that. I don't exactly want to go, I don't like exactly want to go into the Mudsdale, but I also don't think there's a better option here. I don't think getting rid of Lady Kubu now that the Tailwind is up, I don't think getting rid of Lady Kubu is point. I don't think there's a point. I think it's better for me to just, the Psychic would just obviously Oko me, right? So maybe I do have to stay in and Follow Me one more time and go for the Dire Claw here. And I think getting like a poison is pretty much my win con against this Malamar right now. I won't let this happen like this in game 2. This is a very cool set by Uzi. Very, very smart for him because I don't have Stab Fairy on the team. So to focus on the Malamar being the play is really, really cool. We're just gonna get a Dire Claw off. Maybe a Sleep, maybe a Sleep is fine. A Sleep is fine. I will gladly take that. We're gonna see Whimsicott does go for the Dazzling Gleam. Gonna do a little bit of damage here. Nothing crazy, but enough to be, you know, I'm glad that Lune is here, is all I can say. I'm gonna Helping Hand. Actually, I can Psychic now. I'm gonna Psychic and Dire Claw. I did totally forget. This thing is not a dark type anymore. Psychic will probably do a good amount. We're gonna see Tickle here, which does increase attack and defense. So Uzi realizing, hey, I'm out of the terrain. I can do that. We're gonna get a little bit of damage off here, but then is the Psychic enough to finish it off? That's kind of what I'm hoping for. If we get rid of this Malamar, we should be pretty okay. We're gonna see Psychic here. He takes out the Marmot. Really glad that I thought it was a last second change for me to go to Psychic. I was afraid of getting walled by Malamar I was afraid of getting walled by Malamar, but honestly, I'm very glad I did what I did. Sneasler's at full HP. We have Whimsicott super low. We have Terrain in the back again. I almost want to switch out my Lune now to preserve the, I mean, I guess if we just get rid of the Whimsicott, Tailwind has, I think, one more turn. If we get rid of the Whimsicott, we should be fine. Dragapult comes in now. Ooh. Okay, that's a little scary to see already. That is a little scary. Follow Me is not gonna help too much. Maybe I should have just tried Trick Rooming last turn. That actually would have been fire since you have the Tailwind up. Can I see, here we go. Tailwind has one more turn. Dragapult is faster than me right now. I can't exactly protect. What I can do is I can go on into, this is tough. Follow Me, if the Dragon Darts were real, but I don't think that matters. I think we do Follow Me here because Dazzling Gleam shouldn't take me out, but I think I also just protect. So what's the point of following me? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna Trick Room right now and I'm gonna protect. And I know that's weird for Sneasler, for sure, but we're gonna get a protect off. We're gonna see U-turn actually into Lune. Okay. That's unfortunate for sure. A Mudsdale switch in there could have been crazy, but also I'm a little afraid to switch in Mudsdale while Whimsicott is just there. We see Life Orb on Dragapult. Okay, Life Orb damage is huge. Is huge. And all we've seen so far is the U-turn. So we don't know what else he's got. Yuta is here. Yuta is the, ooh, okay, we're gonna see Dazzling Gleam. I am protected. I think that what the good thing here is I pretty much have free reign right here. Tailwind disappears. The weirdness disappears. I can either go out into Big Pona, which might be pretty good. I could go out actually into Coach Junior, which is better. And most likely Whimsicott does not have Protect, right? Obviously, you know, Coach Junior's not thrilled about Pillow-Swine, but I should be able to just fake out Lady Kubu to stop a Tailwind from going up. And then I guess CC's probably the best play here. But does that win me the game? I don't think it does. I think I'm in trouble against that Dragapult in general. I actually think I have to Dire Claw the Yuta and just lean very heavy into the hacks. I don't know how much CC does, and I don't have calcs up right now, so to try to run them would be insane. I can like try to get there, but there's a chance I survive if I don't CC. So I'm gonna Dire Claw that slot. We're gonna fake out. We'll get rid of Lady Kubu, just so that what this means now, right, is like, if my Sneasler survives, it will be faster than Dragapult because my Unburden is still triggered. We're just gonna Dire Claw. It does do nothing. We get no status. High horsepower is going to take me out. Yeah, I'm in a little pickle here, to say the least. A Mudsdale switching could have gone crazy there on the high horsepower. And we see that it's actually, oh, that wasn't leftovers. That was 100% the grassy terrain. Pillow-Swine, I guess I need to learn this for next time. Sneasler, I might as well start learning it now. Sneasler, close combats, and Dire Claw. You're obviously Eviolites. I Dire Claw would have done a ton. I'm not gonna pretend it wouldn't have. We can Grassy Glide that though, but I didn't bring knockoff. Yeah, it stinks I didn't bring knockoff. I'm actually just gonna have to focus down the, no, I have to actually, let me think. This is Terra Fairy. If I go Terra Fairy, what is my Mudsdale again? Mudsdale is Terra Water. That helps me against the ice types. That's pretty good, actually. We'll probably end up doing that. It is long-term the better Pokemon to take this on, and it can actually take on Yuta pretty well. So I can go for the Grassy Glide into Akalat to try to get some damage off, and then I'm going to just high horsepower the Dragapult. It is, in my opinion, it is the little bit of the bigger threat on the board. We'll go over the Terra Water. Obviously, that leaves my Coach Junior in a little bit of danger. The ice types, it is what it is. But I'm hopeful that between Grassy Glide, that does nothing, by the way, 0 damage. Cursed Body disables it. Oh, we dodged the Will-O-Wisp. Coach Junior dodges the Will-O-Wisp from the Dragapult. High horsepower does a good amount. Icicle Crash is gonna come out. Dude, my poor Coach Junior is having a rough go of it, I'll tell you that much. My Coach Junior is having a go of it. We could technically protect here because I am running protect, which, you know what? Maybe it's a last minute fumble. It is what it is. But if we've seen U-turn, we know he's got Life Orb, he's got Will-O-Wisp. I think I do just go for the high horsepower here. We're gonna protect, mainly protecting just to, like, you know, make it so there's less turns that Mudsdale's getting targeted down. We are gonna see the Willow does connect into the Mudsdale. That's a pretty huge problem. Wow, this Dragapult set is crazy. It's not clear. Does Dragapult not get clear body? Have I been stupid this whole time? Let's see. All right, Dragapult is down. That's pretty cool. It definitely does get clear body. I think he just disabled me again. I think he just got the double curse body proc. That's okay, because I want a superpower anyway, I guess, kind of, sorta. We're gonna see Icicle Crash, just gives us another turn here. To hopefully get this cursed body away, that I could start grassy gliding into Pillow-Swine, because we're not out of the woods at all. This thing is actually crazy bulky over here. Grassy Glide is still disabled. Had to check. I actually think it's more effective to just try to get the double protect than it is to do anything else. We did see that Mudsdale is faster, so Rock Slide flinches are on the table, but let's check how much a burned body press does. We don't get the second protect off. It is what it is. We're gonna go body press here. It does no damage. Because of the burn, we are doing no damage. Icicle Crash, we do survive. That's cool. Obviously, I'm going to protect, like, if I'm still disabled. If I'm not disabled, I think maybe I just go for the Grassy Glide to move things along. Okay, I am still disabled. And the U-turn chip is 0, so there's no reason not to just, like, I just protect here every time. I just protect, and we just body press, and we hope for a crit. Right? That's pretty much what we hope for. Now, I am also crazy defensive on my Mudsdale, so this is going to be a battle of attrition here. Absolutely a battle of attrition. We go for the protect because I'm still disabled. I'm sure he goes high horsepower. No, we actually Ice Shards. Ooh. And I think the terrain will be gone, so my Grassy Glide will no longer be priority, so he is going to be able to Ice Shard me. We'll get a little bit more chip damage off, baby. A little bit more chip damage. I wonder, I mean, I assume that Ice Shard will take me out. Is the terrain still here? Do we have one more turn of terrain? Okay, Coach Junior's no longer disabled. That's great, but there goes the battlefield. Ah! Okay, I'm trying to think what's actually better here right now. Is it better to just go for the double protect? Because Grassy Glide is no longer priority, and he's gonna Ice Shard me. If I get the double protect, it's another turn of body press, which I think is valuable in the long run. Is that what we want to do? I think I want to protect, and I want to body press here. I think so. Double protect, yes. Actually huge, I think. I think that's actually huge. Let's see what we got. Ice Shard comes through, boom. It is what it is. We go for that body press. Baby, negligible damage because of the burn. Thankfully, we do have the leftovers, which is mitigating this burn quite a bit. That has been very, very nice. And then, yeah, obviously, I mean, I'm no Big Pona's no longer disabled. That's huge. I'm actually gonna Grassy Glide, and I have to math real quick. 95, 135, 80. I guess body press is still stronger because it is super effective. So it is stronger than high horsepower. Ice Shard's gonna come through. It is gonna take out Coach Junior, and then we are going to body press. Dude, imagine if I could just say, like, hey, teleport, and then you take the Ice Shard, man. Because now we're gonna have to take some hefty high horsepowers, right? And we might win this exchange. I'm actually not positive. Big Pona is bulky as sin. It is a Pillow-Swine. As long as it doesn't have, like, rest. If it has rest, I'm chalked, bro. I'm actually chalked. The Dire Claw sleeps were huge in game 1. The Chesto Berry was beautiful on Uzi's part. We're gonna go body press. We're gonna see Icicle Crash here. Ooh, he's not going for the, doesn't he have high horsepower? Am I imagining that? Didn't he use a ground type move at one point into a slot? I'm wondering why unless there's something crazy. Is he gonna, like, Endeavor Ice Shard? I'm actually a little afraid of Endeavor here. Endeavor Ice Shard is actually such a real strat that I don't like, but I think that he wouldn't do it yet. I think I'm actually gonna Rock Slide here to try to go for flinches, because that might end up being, I think I have to play around. Okay, now he's going high horsepower. Okay, it still doesn't do much. I mean, Endeavor Ice Shard could just be, like, the boogeyman. It definitely could be. I'm at +2 now. I still don't think he's in range. Maybe I just threw by not body pressing there, because now he actually probably could Endeavor. I think one more rock slide makes it so that Endeavor will, no matter what, I imagine this thing gets Endeavor. I don't know why. I can picture a Pillow Swine going for Endeavor. Is that a real thing? He flinches. Okay. I actually didn't want him to flinch. He does get Endeavor. I remember a Pillow Swine using Endeavor at one point in my YouTube career, literally in a Nuzlocke or something. And I really don't, I just want to make sure that he's in range of just body press. I feel like it has to be. I feel like this has to be in range, right? It still doesn't look great. I'm gonna rock slide one more time. Because ideally, like here, I wouldn't be in range of Ice Shroud, right? If he had Endeavor. Okay, now for sure. And I could just be completely in my own head about that whole Endeavor situation, but I've literally been burned by it in Nuzlocke, so I don't want to risk it. We've seen high horsepower, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash. We haven't seen a fourth move yet. Endeavor Ice Shard seems very, very plausible. I'm gonna go body press here, and that should wrap it up, because we're at what, +4 right now. Let's see. Body press should be enough. Down goes Utah, and you New York Yankees win game 1. We haven't won a game since week 1. I'm a little excited about it. So thank you for cheering on the New York Yankees, even if we don't win the set. We win a game. We win a game. The organization is saved. And yes, I understand how lucky I had to get to win that game. The Willow miss on the Coach Jr. But the cursed body procs kind of balance that out. The sleep, burning the Chesto into a second sleep is ridiculous. Looking at that team with Terra Steel, I mean, it wasn't Terra Steel, Terra Flying, I do think that the Indeedee put in crazy work. I wonder if because of that, we won't see it again. I don't think I ever had to reveal acrobatics, which was nice in case the Arachnid wants to come. I could see us though this time leading like Indeedee and maybe Coach Jr. instead. I think that Hades also doesn't hate the Malamar matchup. He gets the click Heatwave, which is really, really nice. I could see me going Hornet Hades here. Like, what would just make for a smoother time? Because I think he's going to adjust pretty hardcore. We can go, I think Hades would have made that match a little bit easier, right? I do think so. The Dazzling Gleam is annoying, but I think they would have made it easier. I think we go Hades, Sneasler, Indeedee in the back, and like Mudsdale won us that game. So we bring Mudsdale again for sure, every single time. Yeah, I think we do that. We bring Mudsdale every single time. Oh man, I didn't take any notes on who KO'd what. I know Mudsdale did not die. I think Mudsdale got a few KOs. Mudsdale. All right, we're gonna see. It's gonna be Dragapult Gallade. Now, what does Gallade even want to do? We know that this is like a more supportive Dragapult here, which is interesting for sure. Gallade, what do you want to do? I have 30 seconds. Sacred Sword, Psycho Cut, Trick Room, Wide Guard. Wide Guard is really, really good here because unfortunately I can't do much about it. I'm gonna Howl on Sneakers. There's no true priority here that I'm worried about. And then, I mean, Will-O-Wisp onto my Sneakers would be dreadful. It would be awful. So let's actually swap into Indeedee, and then let's just see if we can take out the Claudio. Actually, I think we can one-shot Dragapult here. We can get the sneak attack on, right? We can just withdraw Hades, and we'll get the speed boost. We know the Dragapult is not sashed, so we should be able to surprise sneak attack here. Unless if there's a Terra here, then I'm in trouble because I didn't even consider Dragapult Terastallizing. But it would be Terra Fairy. So I'm pretty sure that my Sneasler's able to Oko. This is going to be who? Terra Dark Gallade, maybe? It is Terra Fairy Dragapult. Dude, if this Acrobatics actually does Oko, that would be insane. Because we might just see a Wide Guard from Gallade here in front of the Hound. Okay, Acrobatics comes out. It does no damage. This is a defensive Dragapult, by the way. This is absolutely defensive as sin. Terra Fairy with the crit on the Indeedee. That was a huge, huge play. I expected to do way more damage, but this Pult is bulky. This Pult is bulky with Life Orb, though. We're gonna see Sacred Sword into the Lune. It does feel problematic here, honestly. So we've seen Dragon Darts, Will-O-Wisp, U-turn. Is the last move Protect? This is a pretty important turn here. I think just Follow Me Acrobatics is pretty safe. I wouldn't mind getting Trick Room up though for the late game, man. Oh, it would be so good. If I go, dude, if I make it, because the Dragapult goes down to the Acrobatics, right? So it has to Protect or go down. I don't have the Helping Hand here. I could technically just Psychic into this slot or Trick Room. I'm going to click Trick Room in case I go down, and I am going to Acrobatics the, I'm gonna get greedy. I'm gonna get greedy here, and I'm gonna Acrobatics the Gallade. Now, the Trick Room is weird, right? Because Sneasler's not gonna like that. We see Spooder, man. Oh my gosh, dude, this thing would have taken an Acrobatics. That would have been insane. I think I just set up the Trick Room for him. We're gonna acrobatics here. It doesn't take out Gallade, so maybe we'll get lucky. Wow. Ugh, okay. We know now acrobatics does not one-shot Gallade. I actually really thought it did. These Pokemon are way bulkier. We're gonna see the double Trick Room! We're gonna see the double Trick Room. That was not intentional, I cannot pretend. But Gallade is gonna click Trick Room as I click Trick Room, so there is no Trick Room up. I want to pretend that I did it on purpose. I really do. I think the best thing here, right? So we've seen Trick Room. We've only seen 2 moves from Gallade. I think that we just go follow me. Now, does Araquanid get any sort of, like, does it get Muddy Water, for example? Because that would be what this thing would run. It gets Wide Guard, Leech Life. I don't see Muddy Water on, it gets Surf. It does get Surf. Okay, so it probably runs Surf. I'm going to Helping Hand, and I'm going to Acrobatics the Spooderman here. It is the thing that gets Wide Guard. It cannot Terra. So if it's like Assault Vest, then we're gonna destroy this Araquanid here. We're gonna see Acrobatics into it. I mean, I can't imagine a row where Spooderman survives. All right, I'm gonna make sure I take notes on the second one. Sneasler, KO, Araquanid, because I want to get back to bed. We're gonna see the Trick Room here. Okay, now the Trick Room goes up. Kind of sad. For sure, kind of a little sad. I couldn't sit there and click double Trick Room. Ooh, Malamar in the final slot is really good. I think the only thing I can actually do, is there anything I can do to save this? I don't think Terra Steel will actually save me. I'd say the quote unquote good news, if there's any good news, is that Trick Room is up and Mudsdale can come in. I won't have that reliable recovery, but I do think Mudsdale comes in on this slot right here. And then I think we just protect, right? I'm the fastest thing on the board. Do I double? No, I just protect. Because we got to stall out the Trick Room one way or another. Slash, let Mudsdale start getting some defense buffs. Right, so hopefully he goes for his weaker move into the Indeedee slot right now. And if that's the case, I get a free Mudsdale buff, which is cool. No Pillow-Swine here. Superpower is actually going to go into that slot. It doesn't do too much. So Marmar and Mudsdale are in this weird like relationship right now where it's going to gain attack and defense, and I'm also going to gain defense. Sacred Sword is a massive move, though. Thankfully, I am definitely slower than the Gallade. Sacred Sword ignores defense buffs, so that is a very, very big deal for Mudsdale. However, I imagine that I'm slower than Gallade, so I should be able to just high horsepower that slot. And then, do I switch here? I don't. Actually, I do think I switch. Do I switch? Is there a world where Lune needs to come in and I save Sneakers for a second? How many turns? It's 3 turns to Trick Room left? 3 turns to Trick Room. Yeah, you know what? I think it's worth it. I think we just let Lune go down. I do have to get rid of this Gallade because Sacred Sword would be a dagger. I do wish I had Coach in the back for the recovery for Mudsdale, seeing just how incredible this Pokemon does. But we're gonna let Lune come back in, and we're gonna high horsepower into the Gallade. It takes it out. That's huge. Mudsdale KOs Gallade. Mudsdale KO Gallade. We're gonna see superpower into the Sneasler slot. I don't think I would have taken that, to be honest with you. There's a chance, right? Because it's only +1 non-stab. Definitely a chance that I take it, but Indeedee always forever gets walled by Malamar. And like I said, I might have to Dire Claw Poison, Dire Claw Power, something of that nature. Now Malamar, unfortunately, gets the 1-up on me. But I do have Heat Wave. The Wide Guarder is gone. Unfortunately, I have to say unfortunately, like Ocelot comes out, this is the Dragapult. It is Terra Fairy now, so Heat Wave is my most optimal play, which is pretty cool for me. There is 2 turns of Trick Room left, which means that I can actually high horsepower the Ocelot here. And I can actually, I think Heat Wave is going to be the most beneficial thing, right? Like it has to be. Howl is very cute, don't get it twisted, but I think going for Heat Wave here is going to be the play, because Dragapult just can't stop. Dragapult can't stop my Mudsdale from KOing it with the Trick Room up. The Mudsdale got to use the Trick Room super, super hard. I got incredibly lucky with that double Trick Room turn on with the Gallade. I did have in the back of my mind his team looked very Trick Roomy. I did not expect him to use it that turn. So I was not trying to switch out of Trick Room. That was very, very fortunate. High horsepower should be enough. It takes out the Dragapult. Mudsdale KOs Dragapult. And I think I'm just gonna focus because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. We're gonna see Superpower into the Hades. I too wish I was packing Destiny Bond right now. It would be so fire. It would be so fire. Focus Sash, I'm holding on. Now I can body press into this thing, right? Like, and it's always beneficial for me to just go for Protect here. Heat Wave is a is a nice 2-hit KO. A very nice 2-hit KO from our Houndoom. Getting a little spotlight shined on it. I'm not going to be able to click Howl here, unfortunately, but that's okay. We're going to body press, and we are going to protect because there's one turn of Trick Room left, and it's just the right play to make. It is what it is. A lot less hacks in this round, right? There was no Will-O-Wisp was able to come out to miss, because that was the real hacks that happened in the first battle, was the first one that missed. There was no Dire Claws coming out to get anything going. Body press ain't doing jack right now. We're going to see Superpower into the Houndoom slot, probably just in case I misplay. I understand that completely. Twisted Dimensions returns to normal. We can now just go for body press, and we can go for this Heat Wave. I don't think Snarl is correct. 55. It kind of is, because if I miss, they can both miss, to be honest. They can both miss. So let's just go for the Heat Wave and see if we wrap it up. We actually miss. I just said how there's no hacks and stuff, and he goes for the rest because he's Resto Chesto. Oh, that's so cool for me. That's so cool for me. I mean, I love it. It's cool. It's very cool. And awesome, some would say. I would say it's cool and awesome. And I think I don't have any defense buff, so I should be high horsepowering, and I'm foolish for not. And I might actually just Howl here. No, the Heat Wave damage is so much more. I think I'm always supposed to protect. I always protect here. Man, that was a tough Heat Wave miss there. I'm not gonna lie. That was a tough one. Now the question is, what's more valuable? Another turn with Houndoom on the board, clicking protect, or yeah, I think I just high horsepower and Heat Wave here. There's no way I miss twice. Maybe I even get a burn to make up for the miss. Let's find out. We see big damage here. Any burners? Any burners? No burners. Superpower into that. But I do think I could be wrong. I guess it's gonna come down to a crit or a hacks, man. It really is. It's gonna come down to a crit or a hacks. Maybe I was supposed to Howl there. No, there's no way. There's no way. I just gotta, I mean, listen, I missed the Heat Wave. If I lose game 2 because of the miss, it just kind of is what it is. I have the opportunity to hacks right here, right? Based on the damage of the, what is this thing called? Mudsdale. This is gonna have to damage calc like crazy fast. Malamar, Contrary, Rest Talk. Let's see, you're +3, I believe, right? Let's check. +4, actually. High horsepower is doing, I'm not gonna be able to check all this, by the way, there's no way. High horsepower is doing 12%, that's about right. It's doing actually it was doing a little more. So I think that we just go for high horsepower and close combat, and we just see what it does. I don't know if close combat's enough at +4, but it's neutral and I'm a Sneasler. Is it enough? Yes! Yes! It is enough. Is it a crit? It is not a crit. Sneasler takes the final KO of our first win as the New York Yankees. And my goodness, jeez. This is the first week where I literally prep by myself. Pedons gave one little tip, and I actually already made the one change that he made. I already changed my Houndoom set completely. Originally I was running mixed, and then I changed it, and then he said, hey, you're running mixed, change your nature, but I'm not running mixed anymore. Thank you so much for your support. That feels incredible. I will see you guys, your New York Yankees. We'll see you next week where we battle Wolf. But it's all good. It's all good. Thank you guys, seriously, for all your support. You guys have been so kind while we've grinded this out and started trying to learn more and more. I'm excited, dude. I do love Draft League, so I really hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Keep it shady. Bye, guys.